Hello everyone, Jak Syn here on behalf of TourFiend.com and Future Daze, and today we're sitting with Dana Jean Phoenix. How you doing today, Dana?
I'm doing so well. How are you today?
Oh, as best as can be. I mean, it's a nice sunny day outside. It's nice and warm here in Los Angeles.
Good.
Can't complain too much. I mean, considering everything that's going on right now, just trying to make the most of everything.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's the new normal, but we're quickly just showing how resilient we are and how easily we can adapt to our new kind of situations, right? We're so resilient as human beings.
Yes, we are. And I think sometimes a lot of us kind of forget about that. We have to try to remember inside that we are a lot stronger than we give ourselves credit for.
Absolutely. I totally agree.
Okay, so today we're going to ask you a couple of questions and see where it goes from here. Are you ready to get into it?
Absolutely.
All right, let's do this. What are three of your most memorable moments performing live?
A couple of really special performances that I come to mind are probably the first time that I played a European show, which was Vienna in 2017, I believe. I had reached out to Powernerd to see if they wanted to do a show together. And so we set that up, and it was the first time I played a show in Europe, and the first time that I had performed a collab with another synthwave band. And so we had done a collab called Flame on their album Testosterosa. And so we performed that live, and that was really special. But also it was kind of a dream that I always wanted to accomplish, was to go to Europe and travel and do what I absolutely love, which is play music. And I remember, looking out into the audience. It was a packed house, and there were people just who knew every word to my songs, and that was so surreal and so special. And I remember at the end of the show, I got a little emotional because, I just didn't know that something like that could be possible. So that was really special, and that stands out in my mind. Another really cool show for me was VHS Visions in Stockholm, Sweden, which was the same tour in 2017. And that particular show, I played with Parallels, who are a synthwave band from Toronto, where I'm from as well. And Time Cop 1983 was on that bill. And we had worked together on a couple of songs, two for his records and two for my records. And so we performed probably our two most notable collabs, Don't Let Go and Dreams. And that was just very, very cool, looking out into the sea of people with their hands waving in the air and singing along to the words. That was very special. Number three would probably be Outland. I've done a couple of shows with Outland, who are based in London in the UK. But they did a show here in my hometown of Toronto this past summer, which was absolutely massive. And people from all over the world came to check out the show. There were so many different amazing synthwave acts on the bill that I just really respect and admire. So it was really cool to share the stage with them. But yeah, it was just probably one of the biggest shows I've ever played, and such a nice feeling to be in your hometown and just see that love and reception. So I've been very fortunate to play shows abroad and see that my music resonates with people, and then playing a show in your hometown, I think, is equally as special.
It's very true. Your music does resonate really, really well with a lot of different audiences all over the world. A lot of these I heard about. I wasn't able to go to them, but I saw video and photos after these events, and you're right, they were amazing. Especially like we were talking about the Outland show out there in Toronto.
Yeah.
Funny, because I was speaking with Michael Oakley, who's actually on another interview that we've done.
Oh, great.
Yeah, he was talking about some of those events were some of the best that he's ever been a part of.
Yeah, absolutely amazing. I feel so lucky, but it also speaks to the quality, the kind of people that are in this scene. I am constantly blown away by just how cool everyone is that I've encountered, whether it be artists or bloggers, promoters. These shows wouldn't exist if it weren't for the hard work and the enthusiasm of the promoters who put them together. Yeah, Outland, they're just a really great example of Stu and Brett just having so much passion for the genre and really just being the best guys, taking care of their artists and taking care of the audience as well, and making sure that everybody just has the best time under one roof and this incredible experience that will just stay with you forever. So yeah, I really take time to just appreciate that and recognize that.
That's so very important, especially now with the genre. You really do see the love for the music in everybody, like from the fans to the promoters to the artists. Like everybody really has this huge love for this scene. It's just a really great thing to see that everybody is together on this. Doesn't matter if you like, you know, the lighter side of it or the darker side of it. It's such an eclectic group of individuals,
Yeah.
who really come out and support this stuff. I mean, I know that a lot of events that I've been to and a lot of events that I've been a part of, you really do see a rainbow of people from all different walks of life, really enjoying this music. So that is just an amazing thing.
Totally.
What would you say is your favorite album / EP that you've worked on?
Well, they're all so special to me. I get to work with so many incredibly talented producers and artists. I love collaborating with people. It's just, I love the energy and the creative kind of back and forth that collaborations allow me as a songwriter, as a vocalist, as a musician. But I have to say, given the timing of today's interview, my most recent album, which is a collab album with Powernerd, that just came out, is probably just what a cool experience it was working on the album. It was absolutely a blast to make. And Outland Recordings, they're behind the record. They're, putting out the record. So I'm just so happy to work with them as well. So this is a very special record for me. And yeah, I'm so excited that it's out now.
I had a chance to listen to this record. It is amazing. It is amazing. My favorite, they're all really great songs. I love them. I really love Sunrise Stance. I love that track. It's really, really funky. The entire album is really, really funky. It really like touches on that groovy, groove feeling.
Yeah.
Every once in a while you'll get like synthwave albums that may kind of touch on that a little bit, but this really goes deep into that. If you get a chance, be sure to check the entire album out, listen to it in its entirety from start to finish, because it really will take you on a journey. It really will. So what was that like, being able to put that album together, like with Powernerd? Like, what was that collaborative effort like?
So much fun. Yeah, I've been really lucky that, we've done several collabs together, starting with a collab on their album, which I talked about a little bit earlier. And Powernerd Patty, who is the main producer of Powernerd, produced 2 tracks on my last album, Pixel Dust, which is Only for One Night and Losing the Connection. So we've already kind of established this working relationship, but also we've performed live a couple of times. I've gone over to Vienna twice now, and we've done shows. So just a really cool energy. They're the coolest guys and really just amazing musicians that I really respect and admire. So I absolutely knew that I wanted to work more with Patty and with Powernerd, and yeah, it was just such an easy back and forth, such a cool flow. We were totally on the same page the whole time, and it didn't feel like work. I mean, obviously we put our heart and soul into it, but it was just so much fun, and I'm so happy that people are responding so well to it. That makes me so happy.
Well, that is so great to hear. I'm so happy that the collaborative effort in this one was an entire album that you guys put together. Like hearing your release before that, Pixel Dust, and seeing the collaborative effort on those couple of tracks, like it was really great to see that you guys built towards a full album together, and
Yeah.
you can really see both those sides shining through in that.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I always try to keep sort of a cohesiveness to everything that I do. But this particular album was particularly easy just to kind of create this whole concept and this whole vibe that luckily just came about so organically and so naturally. So yeah, I appreciate you mentioning that.
What was the drive behind getting you into singing and performing live?
Well, I've always been musical. I've always loved singing and performing in music. Like, from an early age, I was playing piano and doing like theater and, just singing around the house as much as possible. My family they're not musicians, but my parents both loved so much different types of music. They had a very much an eclectic mix always playing in the house when I grew up. And so, yeah, I've been very lucky because I've always known that music is where I've wanted to go with my life. Some people don't have that luxury to know exactly, where they fit in. And it's been a journey for me for sure, like trying to find my voice as a performer, as an artist. But I do feel fortunate that I've always just known that music is kind of my passion. It's what I've always wanted to do. And I'm a people person. I love to connect with people. I love to have that exchange and that back and forth. So, performing live for me is just one of the greatest experiences ever because, you're having this party with these people. We're all under one roof together. And there's just sort of this unspoken agreement that we're all just there to have the best possible time. And so for me, I just want to help facilitate that the best way I can. Put on a great high energy show, have tons of lights, visuals, dancing. I just want it to be an experience for everybody. That's always been the drive behind it. Just knowing that I love it and I want to share it with other people.
And you really do see that come out like when you're performing live. Like I said, I'm still hoping to see a Dana Jean Phoenix show very, very soon. I'm
Yes.
still hoping for that. I got to get you out to LA. Got to get you out to LA so you can come play in Los Angeles because we need you out here. But from what I've seen, like through the videos and all that stuff, you really do have a really great energy up there when you're performing live. Especially, you're really bringing that energy on that guitar of yours too.
Thanks. Yeah, Jareth, my guitar. I named my guitar Jareth after the Goblin King, David Bowie's character in Labyrinth.
It's just so great to see that you're multi-talented up there. Like singing and playing the guitar, bringing the energy, like getting the crowd going. You are really pushing it, and you are really on top of that when you're performing live. So thank you for that.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that's just kind of two notes on that. I recall an interview with Jimmy Jam, of Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, who are, probably one of my absolute all-time favorite producers, producing for Prince or playing with Prince, and Jak Syn, of course, who I grew up with, listening to her music. But yeah, Jimmy Jam was just kind of making a comment that when they used to play with Prince, Prince was just so demanding of them and their talents. Like it wasn't enough just to show up to rehearsal and know their keyboard parts. They had to play the right keyboard parts. They had to sing the backups. They had to do some dance moves. They had to spin around at certain moments. There was all this kind of multitasking, and Prince really taught them that you're capable of doing more than you think you are. And you're here to bring a show to people, to bring an experience. So that really resonated with me when I heard that, that you're capable of doing more than you think you are. And I love that. I love absolutely being up there on stage by myself, running the show, playing my guitar and all of that. And I have a jazz background. So I studied jazz in college. And I just remember this sense, like it was a really cerebral program which was really good for the theory side of things. But in my heart, as cheesy as that sounds, I really wanted, I had this urge to just really make performances a little less cerebral and a little more expressive and tactile and, you know, sweaty and just memorable, right? It just, I wanted people to be able to feel that energy, and I want to feel that as a performer. So it's very much a two-way street. The energy you give to the audience, they give back to you, and vice versa. So that's a very important ingredient in live performance that I always try to remember.
Well, you know, I guess as the old saying goes, don't even walk up on that stage unless you're ready to leave it all out there for everybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What are you looking forward to accomplishing the most moving forward?
Doing more of my own production and trusting that. I've definitely grown over the years, and this scene has really allowed me to grow as a vocalist, as a songwriter, as a performer, and as a musician. And I think for me, the next step is just producing more and just trusting my instincts and my ideas, and doing a lot more of that.
That's so great to hear. Like, on your journey, do you feel like there are obstacles here and there? Like, do you ever have those instances where you kind of like doubt some of your creative process ever?
Oh yeah, for sure. I've learned that, you know, the self-doubt thing, it's just a mechanism to kind of hold us back because we're afraid of what the possibilities are, you know. So it's better to put yourself out there as much as possible and kind of learn those mistakes, learn as you go. Because if you're expecting perfection from yourself all the time, nothing would ever get released, right? You have to put your heart and soul into it, but you also have to, you know, express yourself the best way you know how in that moment. But ultimately, at the end of the day, if you're holding yourself back, you know, you're not going to go very far. So you have to just trust in yourself if you want to go somewhere.
Trust in your abilities, trust in your skills, in the kind of person that you are, because it will take you a very long way. You just have to believe that you can do it and ride that wave. You know what I mean? Take a hold of it and get going, because great things will happen for you.
Couldn't agree more. Yeah.
What positive message would you give your fans out there?
I always try to write my songs from the viewpoint of just self-empowerment. Times can be hard. There can be a lot of variables in life, a lot of challenges, and we have to make a lot of hard choices sometimes. But you have power. You have power, and you know, we live in a time now where there are no gatekeepers. Like, in terms of the music business, I mean, anything is possible. As an independent artist, you have the tools to, you know, put your own music out. So for me, that's been something that's been very empowering for me, but it's very applicable to anyone in life, to believe in yourself, right?
And that's very important, self-empowerment. I get a lot of the time artists like doubt themselves. They tend to doubt themselves. They tend to go, maybe this doesn't sound so good. Maybe nobody's gonna like it or anything like that. But at the end of the day, the only person that you should care about liking it is you. And if other people like it, then great. But at the end of the day, your success is not somebody else's success. That right there, in a nutshell, is what I think everybody should be striving for, your own success. Also,
to add to that, knowing that it's okay to doubt yourself. It's okay to have questions, right? That's part of the process. I always say to people, like, people always ask, like, you don't seem like you're nervous at all on stage. Do you ever get nervous? And yeah, I always get a little bit nervous before a performance. Like, the nerves just mean that you care to do a good job. Like, you're invested, right? You want the best possible outcome. You want people to have a good time. And so the self-doubt when it comes to creating, you know, you want to put out a quality product. You want people to resonate with it, right? So I think just to say, like, you know, don't have any doubts, just believe in yourself, just do it, right? Know that the doubt is all part of it, and persevering in the face of that is what makes you stronger.
That is very, very true. Those are wise words from Dana Jean Phoenix, everybody, right there.
On a Friday night, no less.
On a Friday night, you're right, you're right. Well, thank you so much for taking this time to sit with us today, Dana. I want to say thank you to everybody out there for tuning in today and watching us have this conversation. If you like this video, be sure to like and subscribe to our tourfiend.com YouTube page. And thank you so much, Dana.
Thank you so much for having me. And yes, definitely you at home there, go check out the album MEGAWAVE by myself and Powernerd out on Outland Recordings. You can find it on Spotify, iTunes, and Bandcamp. And I'm excited for you guys to hear it.